nire-rage bait kasi nila yung mga Duterte supporters and the people in general, nire-rage bait nila ng bongga-bongga. First na pang rage bait nila is yung ICI investigation, dinadala nila sa Davao City, di ba? Nagkakandamatayan na yung mga tao sa Agusan del Sur, sa Negros, sa Cebu, at yung iba pang naapektuhan na lugar ni Typhoon Pino. Pagkatapos, ang una nyong gustong investigahan is yung flood control project na kung saan merong isang part na gumuho. Diba? It is something that can perfectly be addressed. Email na lang yan may DPWH naman doon, may parteng gumuho. O DPWH, ano gagawin nyo dyan? Paayos nyo yan. Diba? And that could have solved the problem. Diba? But I do not understand why Magalong has to be there. Tiyo, let's talk about Magalong. Kasi, alam niyo naman, ever since I talk about Magalong already, how I am very, very worried doon sa mga ginagawa niya, vis-a-vis, doon talaga sa totoong actions niya. Kasi nga, hindi consistent And Tio wrote a very powerful article about Vico Sotto and Magalong. Okay. What can you say about the investigation of ICI in Davao City, wherein Magalong joined as a special investigator, a special advisor and investigator, a post that he already rejected. Nag-resign na siya.
We have to establish the fact na the mayors for good governance is not really advocating for good governance. Rather, they are forming an alliance in preparation for 2028. That's number one. Now, number two, Magalong, just like what Joey said a while back, na he already tendered his resignation for some reasons, di ba? Na in-explain niya doon, ganyan. But then eventually, pinadala siya again dito sa Davao to investigate. There is a floating information that because of Magalong's findings in Davao, nagkaroon ng second leg of investigation, yung ICI dito. Now, why are they targeting Davao? This is because they want to weaken really the political capital of VP Sara. One article that Rappler published is about Iskandar. Iskandar is a contractor here in Davao. But to be honest, hindi naman lahat ng contractor talaga bad because that's their job, that's their business. Itong mga Iskandar, hindi pa nag-i-exist yung mga Marcoses na yan. Nasa ganyan na silang business. Ang point is, wala silang ghost project. Now, they are making a big deal out of, for example, yung 8 months daw. After 8 months, after the completion, di ba, may mga ano daw, may mga sira-sira. So, pinupokus nila yung mga konting bagay na pwede naman sanang bigyan nila ng budget again para for repair, ganyan. Because hindi naman nila, ang angle kasi nila is, they're no longer talking about the reason or the causes. Bakit nagkaganon? Bakit kailangan ng repair or may nasira doon? They are talking about bakit nasira. As if naman, flood control projects,
sira-proof.
Oo, sira-proof na hindi dapat that is a very wrong contention. But ito na, this is a whole PR thing talaga. It's a CIA-backed investigation for me lang. This is only my assessment. Why? Because Rappler, naglabas sila ng article saying that itong si Iskandar daw is one of VP Sara's campaign funders. One of VP Sara's biggest campaign funders. So, they want to eliminate Iskandar in the equation by pressuring him to go to the ICR or by pressuring him to enter into a negotiation that would benefit them and would, get all the perks that VP Sara is getting from them if there is any.
If there's any.
Yeah. So yan yung role ngayon ni Magalong. He is becoming more of an attack dog than really opening the floodgate of corruption that is lingering in this country. So, kaya nakikita ko, plastikan lang yan because if you look at Baguio now, there are many DPWH projects there that are very questionable.
Yes.
Now, if you want...
That Rodante Marcoleta started questioning in 2023.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And then, if you really want to... If you are an advocate of good governance and if you really want to clean this government, you should start from your own backyard. How can you, di ba? How can you be so sure about doing the investigation of the other places? For example, Davao, for example, a very progressive, debt-free city, ganyan. If Baguio City is even, poorer compared to the other non-tourism cities or provinces, ganyan. So, yan yung sinasabi ko ngayon na si Magalong talaga, hindi yan trustworthy na tao. If hindi ako nagkakamali, I was really looking for the interview, one of Magalong's interviews na kung saan sinabi niya na idol niya si Ping Lacson. Ping Lacson. Si Ping Lacson. Pareho yan sila ng background, more on the men in uniform, parang ganyan. So, hinahanap ko talaga yun na sinasabi niya na idol si Ping Lacson. And if you study the entire hearing, it was Ping Lacson. It was during his privileged speech na sinabi niya na there are 67 contractors, ganyan. Pero up until now, he cannot mention the names of those contractors na na-investigate niya. The way I see it is this. Para bang ginagawa nilang milking cow yung mga mga tao na hey, give us a budget, give us funds in preparation for 2028. Hindi ka namin i-imbestigahan. I-focus namin dito lahat para ikaw absueldo ka. Wala ka ng problema. That's my assessment. I'm not reporting news, baka sabihin nyo naman fake news ito. This is purely an opinion. So yan yung nakikita ko na parang kung saan sila pwedeng magkapamera in preparation for 2028 national elections, yan yung tinatarget nila. Because negotiations, for example, contractor ako. Kinausap ko, hey, i-hearing ka namin, i-imbestigahan ka namin. Kung pwede ba ito mapag-usapan? Diba? Ganyan yung mga ganap pagsabi ng contractor na, ito, 300 million. Money. 300 million, if you're gonna use that in elections, marami ka na matulungan, marami na yung ayuda, marami ka na mabibiling boto niyan. Diba? So, saan ba? Are you gonna stress yourself over an investigation that is purely political, an investigation that is a part of a bigger PR campaign of the enemies, or just get the money, spare that person, don't talk about that person, and then divert the attention of the masses? Yan yung ginagawa yun. Yan yung route na ginagawa ni Magalong. Kaya I don't really trust Magalong.
May interesting yung comment dito ni John Angelo Riveza. Sabi niya, Miss Joey, ang defense nila, may MOA daw ang good governance sa DPWH. That's very, very questionable. That's very, very questionable. Anong entity yung good governance?
Kaya nga.
Sino sila para magkaroon ng MOA sa DPWH?
Right.
And what makes them an authority that would allow them to inspect other jurisdiction? Let's see, if this is true to sinasabi ni Jan, nakakaloka yan. Bakit magra-rise up si Magalong sa ganung level? That is moral authority cannot be questioned. Diba? Hindi, good governance. Talaga? Kayo na ang good governance?
Correct. Now, isa pa ang hindi ko talaga maintindihan, you already tendered your resignation. Tapos bigla kang bumalik sa Davao na may picture ka na kung ano-ano na lang. Yung, di ba, nakita nyo naman yung mga photos na pinost. And you know what? The residents sa place na in-investigate nila, sila na mismo yung nagde-defend. So, meaning to say, if yan yung mga ginagawa ng mga residente, there is really something wrong with the investigation. And it's quite unfair ba na when it comes to flooding in Davao,
yung iniingay daw ng background.
When it comes to flooding in Davao, 2 to 3 hours, wala na, humuhupa na yung baha. Okay na yun. Ganyan dito sa Davao. Unlike in Metro Manila or maybe in Cebu, na kung saan, di ba, nakita nyo naman ang effect ngayon. Ang dami ng bagyo na dumaan na kung saan ang Davao affected din. Pero kung nakikita ninyo, we don't really beg for help. Di ba? Because our LGU is capable of taking care of the welfare of its constituents. So ganyan ka ang Davao City. And if you look at Davao City before, lalo na yung sa Davao River, talaga, mahirap talaga, bumabaha talaga, ganyan. And there are places talaga na madaling bumaha dito, yung mga flood-prone areas. And it's pretty normal for a city na, very industrialized city ba? It's really normal. That's why there are flood control projects nga na ginawa to resolve these issues. Diba? So, dapat sana, ang i-investigate nila yung mga ghosts. flood control projects or yung mga projects na kung saan yung impact to the residents ba hindi nakikita yung impact to the residents, but in Davao it's the opposite. Nakikita kasi ng mga residents yung impact ng flood control projects, especially sa District 1, sa district ni Kongkulong. Now, why am I saying that this is also a political? It's because Bulacan is top 1 in terms of the budget allocation. Bulacan that are really flood prone.
Yeah.
Okay? But why are we not investigating Bulacan why are they not investigating Bulacan the way they investigate Davao? Why is there no new news na about it, 'di ba? Kasi yung investigation na doon lang lumabas ang about sa Bulacan eh. But they are not talking about the projects there. They are talking about the district engineer. You know what I mean? But now in Davao, they are directly talking about the projects, not with the district engineer. So that's the angle that we want you guys to really comprehend and understand. Because this administration is doing its very best to pull us thinking or rational Filipino people.
For me, no, yung kay Magalong kasi, there's really lack of consistency. Masyadong paasa si Magalong na galit siya sa korupsyon, galit siya sa ganyan. And I gave him that, nung start na nagsasalita si Magalong, I gave him that. Sige, kontra ka, gusto mo, ayaw mo sa korupsyon, ganyan. Di go! Diba? Suportahan kita dyan. However, yung Kenneth ni Magalong kasi, hindi niya binabackupan ng real deal action. Panay press release, good governance, ganyan, magsama-sama tayo, good governance, kineme-kineme, ganyan-ganyan. Parang, Mr. Magalong, ang good governance po, pinapakita, hindi yan sinasabi, hindi mo dadaan sa press release yan. Again, I would like to reiterate this once again. Yung inyong sasalita ng good governance na ganyan. Yung mga pagsasabi nyo ng ganyan, while I think the intention really is to promote yung transparency, accountability, ganyan-ganyan. Because of the lack of consistency, iba yung sinasabi nyo sa ginagawa ninyo, magdududa talaga yung mga tao. And Magalong cannot kasi sinuportahan naman yun si Magalong nung nagsasalita siya nung une. Like I said, the reason why may value yung pagsasalita ni Magalong noong una about corruption is because he is a public official talking about his colleagues in the government. 'Di ba? Siyempre kapag ang nagsasalita na katrabaho mo, may weight yan eh. Kasi party siya ng sistema na yun eh. In the same manner, Kiko Barsaga is very, very popular because Kiko Barsaga is talking against his own interest. Congressman si Kiko Barsaga at ang mga kwento niya at ang mga sinasabi niya is about the monkey business in House of Representatives, which he is a part of. So that is why natutuwa talaga tayo, naturally matutuwa tayo sa mga opisyal na nagsasalita ng ganyan kasi against their own interest yan eh, 'di ba? It's against their own interest. So may premium yung mga ganong pagsasalita. So kaya nga sabi ko, ito si Magalong, na-appreciate naman to nung una na ganyan yung niya, ganyan yung ebas niya, ganyan yung sinasabi niya. Had he follow through doon sa kanyang intention at talagang ginawa niya yung mga revelasyon niya hanggang ngayon wala naman siyang revelasyon Hanggang ngayon investiga ang ginagawa niya. 'Di ba? Asan yung mga alam niya noon na gusto niyang i-share? Ba't hindi pa niya share? So, I think na Magalong really falls short sa standard ng good leader. He is just a fair weather politician, and I think because he is he desires to have a higher position in the future, yung mga ginagawa niya ngayon is really about that. Sabi ni Carlex, questionable yung mayors for good governance ni Magalong. May mga members sila ng mga corrupt. Hindi daw importante yung past mistakes. Hindi importante yung past mistakes, pero nakatutok sila dun sa administration ni PRRD. 'Di ba? Bakit kasi nakikinig pa kayo kay Libayan? Si Libayan na laging ngongo at ang lakas manguyak. Miss Joey and Crush Tio, sadly, it's the corrupt people in our government that gradually kills our fellow Filipino people. This is so true, no? This is really true. And ang dami mga vloggers and mga political observers who are saying that the government actually, our government has blood in their hands. Dun sa dami ng because the sharp increase in the number of casualties during national disaster is something that is truly questionable and disheartening. Nung panahon ni PRRD, meron meron pa rin namang mga casualties sa sa mga national calamity, sa mga tragedy. Meron pa din. Pero, sharp yung decrease ng mga casualties because of the readiness, because of the preparation. We don't see that now. At ang dami-daming nagsasakripisyo. Ang lala nung pinambabayad natin dito sa ganitong bagay. And just to give my share of most disheartening story nitong Typhoon Tino na ito, for me, yung fact na ang dami-daming namatay na mga batang maliliit, babies, 7 years old pababa. I really can't help it but, cry. Like, yung hindi mo mapigil na iyak kasi hindi natin naprotektahan yung mga babies. Yung mga kwento ng mga taga Cebu, yung pagbaha sa Typhoon Tino, nag-start umulan ng alas 6. Bandang alas 9, lampas tao na yung tubig. That's very, very, very quick. Kung busy ka na nagliliwas ng mga gamit, nag-aakit ng mga gamit, nagsisave ng mga gamit, and then you have little kids around, tapos ganun kabilis yung pagtaas ng tubig. At first time mong maka-experience ng ganung klaseng pagbaha, marami talagang mabibiktimang mga maliliit na mga bata. And for me, yun yung pinaka masakit na nangyari kasi we weren't able to protect our children. And of course, this is not to blame the parents, because I'm very sure that the parents are also confused, scared, and panicking at that moment. Kasi unang-una dapat wala sila sa ganung sitwasyon totally unavoidable It's really not the fault of the parents. It's really our collective mistake that brought them in that situation. And that mistake is, allowing this kind of government to decide for us. Kaya nga, sabi ko dun sa post ko last time, kung hindi ka pa rin magsasalita ngayon tungkol sa incompetence ng gobyerno, kung hindi ka pa rin magagalit dun sa uri ng gobyerno na meron tayo, pati yung mga kamay ninyo na hindi nagsasalita, may dugo. Because at the end of the day, the reason why we're doing this, kaya tayo nakikipagtalastasan sa social media, kaya tayo nakikipagdebate sa mga iba't ibang mga tao na may iba't ibang pananaw tungkol sa pagpapalakad ng bansa. Because at the end of the day, we want to protect the babies. We want to protect our children. And I think, ito sa puntong to walang debate whether kahit anong political affiliation mo, pink ka, DDS ka, yellow ka, or whatever, ang sentro ng pinaglalaban mo ay yung mga bata. Because the reason why you want certain way to be the dominating POV dito sa bansa natin is because, some people perhaps really believe na yun yung best way para i-manage yung bansa natin. And the mere fact that our children are dying because of incompetent government, it is your duty to really speak up. Kaya si Atty. Libaya, nag-form siya ng isang group na Good Governance Kuno. Bumuo siya ng isang community para kay Magalong para sa pagtakbo siguro sa 2028. Well, he doesn't know he doesn't know the politics of result. Hindi ka mananalo dahil sinasabi mo magaling ka, may integridad ka, and whatsoever. Pakita mo may integridad ka. The mere fact that Magalong, who spoke about corrupt activities prior nitong ICI, hanggang ngayon di pa niya kinukwento yun. Doon sa mga pahint-hint niya. Asan na integridad dun?